What is up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist, joined at the hip by
Gersh1.
And today we're back at it to become
For another episode of
For the Greater. Yeah. That's my fill in the blank.
Yes.
It's funny because we're so accustomed to saying these things. When I stop midway, it's like, wait, what does he say? I don't usually do this part.
Yeah.
Trying to catch him in the act.
You got it. This is a video series where we answer the questions left by you, the viewer. If you have a question for us, comment down below. Put a question in front of your question because we get those questions first.
That is what Blondie 42 has done. When do you think we'll see a live action 30 or 40K series or movie? And why Henry Cavill will make a great Space Marine?
We're going to ignore the last part.
Yeah. So a 40K movie, a 40K series supposedly has been in the works for a while now, and it's supposed to follow the stories of the Inquisitor Eisenhorn. I think that's a pretty safe bet because the books get a pretty positive reception. It's an Inquisitor, so you can go pretty much anywhere in the 40K universe. You're not tied to if it was the Imperial Guard, you have to do what they have to do, or if you're a Space Marine, then there's not really a way to kind of create good character and emotional connections because of the whole stoicism. So with a human, such as an Inquisitor, you kind of get the whole 40K universe seen in the eyes of somebody who really gets to experience the whole facet of 40K.
And he's an Inquisitor, so he can kind of do whatever he wants.
Exactly.
Something right now when you were describing what it would be like to have a movie through the perspective of a Space Marine, it made me think of the basically the last two seasons of Game of Thrones. Take away the fact that the last season was shit, but that impending doom that never goes away in pretty much every single scene in Westeros, or not Westeros, in what was the northern part? Where the
it's been years since I've seen it. North of the Wall is what you're saying?
Not north of the wall, but the
Winterfell?
Yeah, Winterfell. Everybody's sad, and you could tell that winter is here basically, and it's a scary situation. And I feel that gloomy, depressing atmosphere would go throughout the entire movie or show if it was through the perspective of a Space Marine, which I don't think people would like.
Right. Don't get me wrong. A lot of people want to see Space Marines in film or movies, but I mean,
they can't even get it in.
No, they can't. I was going to say Halo's a good exception, or a good way of how this can go wrong very easy. On the first episode of the Halo series, Master Chief reveals his face.
Oh, really?
Something that hasn't happened in 4 games. And that's the whole thing about Master Chief. You're not supposed to know what he looks like. They don't want you to get that interpersonal connection. They want you to see this is a super soldier. He's here to get the job done. We're not really putting emotion into it. And then they take that away in the first episode.
Yeah, so it's tricky to navigate through that. But if you have a named character that everybody knows what he looks like, everybody knows his persona, it's
a lot easier.
Yeah.
And then the other thing too, it's if you're getting a well-known actor to play the part, if you're gonna have him helmeted, it's technically it could be any actor.
Yeah, even though in The Mandalorian, dude did a really good job. What's his name?
Pedro Pascal.
Yeah, he did a really good job, and then at the end when he finally takes off his mask, I was like, it was worth it. That's fine.
But imagine if he would have taken off his helmet in the first episode.
That would have been annoying.
Yeah, it's dude, this is his creed, his religion. Why is he doing this?
Yeah.
Kind of what they did in the first Suicide Squad when they had Will Smith be Deadshot. He had the helmet on most of the time.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're they want you to know, oh, this is Will Smith. Take off the helmet for a few scenes here and there. But for the most part, keep it on.
Yeah. Fast forward to the future, and he slaps Chris Rock.
Judge Dredd, perfect example of this. They had whatever the actor was for the newer Judge Dredd, not when it was Stallone. The dude had his helmet on 99% of the time. I don't even think he took it off.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just keep it like that, and I think you'll really hit the whole feel, the aesthetic of 40K.
Yeah.
But you don't have to worry about it if they are doing the whole Inquisitor series. So.
Yeah. So it's coming.
Yeah.
Be patient. Hold tight.
Yeah, but Oh, the whole thing is like, if there's any indication as to what Warhammer Plus is doing with these animations, maybe we shouldn't be expecting it or be that hopeful.
That's true.
Yeah, because we've seen our excitement just go out the door time and time again.
But cross your fingers for a Starty. Starty will be good, hopefully.
Yeah.
Next question comes from G Fish. What would it take to make the Kroot better able to adapt for consuming other species? I want to see the Kroot become more powerful. So do I.
Yeah. I really like the Kroot, like how they look, the whole like hair and the beaks and stuff like that. I think the one thing for me, at least, that would make them more powerful and more enticing as a faction is if they got the abilities of whatever they ate like right away.
Yeah.
Maybe it didn't like it doesn't stay forever, or maybe it's only like they get it for like an hour, or depending on how much of a certain something they get that trait for that long. But it'd be pretty cool. Like there's a Kroot that's about to like fall off a cliff. He reaches into his pocket, pulls out like some bird, eats it, and he grows wings.
Yeah, that would be really badass. Even just for a second, like you said. That would be one way of doing it. Yeah. As far as like the faction itself, it happened in 5th edition. They were a mercenary faction, and you can play as the Kroot. Forge World even had
Krootox.
Yeah,
basically T-Rex Kroot.
Yeah, so it could have happened. It didn't though.
No, Krootox is already there. Narlox. Is what they were.
Yeah. But yeah, I think I agree with you. Having an instant thing would be better.
How they could include that in like the tabletop, I'm not so sure. But at least lore-wise, that's pretty cool.
Well, like even if it's like on the tabletop, they can just give you a quick little list of like if you get into close combat with orcs and you defeat the entire unit, you gain +1 strength or something crazy like that.
Yeah,
maybe for like a turn. Or if you want to make them powerful, it wouldn't be a turn. It would be the entire game. So like if you have and then that would incentivize, because it's a mercenary faction, it would incentivize not just 1v1 games, but like 4v4 or bigger games basically.
Right. So you want to be psychically powerful and you're playing like a 3-way battle with like Space Marines and Eldar. Then you want to go for the Eldar to get those psychic abilities open to you.
Yeah, target one faction first and then move on to the next, and then at the end like you have these Kroot that are just like super powerful. Like the army itself gets stronger as the game progresses, which is the opposite of most armies nowadays.
Where they generally get weaker.
Yeah. So yeah.
Cameron Wilson says, what is the purpose of psychic hoods? Do librarians have to have them?
Yeah, so they're focus points.
Essentially, yeah. They help the whole channeling of psychic powers be siphoned and either output stronger or make their defense better.
Yeah, and are they necessary? No, there's some librarians that don't use them.
Yeah.
But it is one of those things where, like, if you're a Primaris Psyker, that's a lot of power that you have to, like, channel and reserve, so.
Yeah. That's like saying, I'm bowling. Do I need the bumpers up? No, but, I mean, it's going to make you do way better. So, yeah, it's not necessary, but it should be a necessity to improve.
Yeah. Next question comes from Nope, we've already had that one. Next one.
I've got one by Terrell the Goat. Is this a perfect time for Corvus to return? And also, what's up with Magnus? Has he done anything after bringing his planet into real space? So when it comes to the Primarchs and them doing like actual game-changing things, not really.
No, tabletop-wise, no.
Yeah.
But in the novels, that's when you're going to see like the big buffs.
Right. And even then, like, for example, the whole Godblight stuff, you have Gilliman versus Mortarion, who was basically going to make a disease that could eradicate the whole sector of space, a disease capable of bringing down Primarchs. That's a pretty big deal. But obviously, that's not going to happen.
Right. Yeah.
So, yeah, when these Primarchs do come, it's something somewhat notable. It's usually meant to sell models or novels. When it comes to Corvus, would now be a good time for him to come back? I don't think so.
No, I think like right now it's more being built up for Sanguinius to return, or Corvus isn't there. No.
Yeah, like I don't see any relevance in his. Yeah, because I mean, speed and jet bikes, that's kind of a thing. We've been seeing rumors for the Lion for how long?
Yeah.
But yeah, right now, at least the way that the lore is progressing, I don't see a need for any Primarch. I mean, yeah, you do have Gilliman fighting all by himself against like Mortarion, Magnus. But yeah, you definitely need somebody else in the Imperium side to kind of even the scales. But even then, like I feel like the Imperium's doing all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those were the questions for today. If you guys have more questions for us, please comment down below. Thank you guys so much for sending those questions our way, and we'll talk tomorrow.
Yeah, this has been the Sound Alchemist,
Gershwan.
and we are out.
Always used to put my freedom